Hello and thanks for watching Best Maths Tutors. I'm continuing to go through the Edexcel Foundation Tier paper from 2019, and this is paper 1. We're on question 7. I'll be covering all the questions on this paper, so hit the subscribe button if you'd like to see more of these. So question 7 is a question where we've got a chart which shows different colours of flowers. So we can see that we've got red flowers, white flowers and yellow flowers, and what we're told is that the total number of flowers is 30, and there's another colour of flowers which is blue, and we've got to work out the number of blue flowers. So what we would have to do is we look at each one of these in turn and work out how many there are. So the number of red flowers we can see is given by the height of this line, and if we read across we can see that that's 8. So that's 8, the number of red flowers. Number of white flowers we've got is 10. So read across there, we can see we're at 10. So that's white. And if we read across to the number of yellow, we can see that we're at 5. So we've got yellow, we've got 5 flowers. And if we add all them together, we'd get 23. So we add all them together, 23. And if we want to find out the number of blue flowers, all we need to do is take that 23 away from the total, and that's going to give us the number of blue. So we're going to do 30, which is the total, take away the 23, and so we can see that that is 7. So the total number of blue flowers is 7. And then we're asked to work out what the mode is. So we need to understand that what the mode is the colour, in this case, with the highest frequency. So this is the frequency on this axis. So the mode is the one with the highest frequency. So we need to look at this graph, and we can see actually the white has got 10, and that's the highest frequency. So the mode is white. This next one is a very common type of question. So this would more or less occur on every single foundation tier paper. And what it is, it's about ordering fractions in terms of their size. So going from, in this case, starting with the smallest and going to the largest fraction. So currently it's quite difficult to tell which one of these is the biggest and which one is the smallest. And the only way we can really do a comparison is by getting them all to have the same denominator, which means the denominator is the number on the bottom. So the denominator is the number on the bottom of a fraction. And so we can change a fraction by multiplying the top and bottom of the fraction by the same number. And we can probably see that all of these will go into 12. So we're looking for a common denominator. We can see that we can change a 3 into 12 by multiplying a 3 by 4. We can get that into go into 12. We could also do the same with a 4. We could times that by 3, and that would be 12 as well. So all of these numbers on the bottom will go into a 12. So we're going to change every one of these fractions into 12ths. So to do that, I'm going to have to ask myself, what would I have to multiply the bottom by to get 12? So I could times that by 4. And the rule is I've got to multiply the top by the same number. So if we do that, we've got the 1/3 will go to 4 on the top, 1 times 4, and 12 on the bottom. And then if we go through this next one, then we can see we have times the bottom number by 3 to get us a 12. And if we've done that, we've got to do the same to the top number. So that means that's going to be a 9. And then put commas between each one of these. And then we're going to times this one now by 3 again, because it's a 4 on the bottom. To make it a 12, we're going to have to times by 3. And because we've done that to the bottom, we've got to do it to the top. That's also going to be, that's now going to be 3 on the top of there. The 7/12 we can keep as it is. So 7/12 just stay as it is. And the half, we've got to times the 2 by 6 to get a 12 on the bottom. That's 12 on the bottom now. But I've got to do the same to the top. That's going to be 6 times 1. So I've got 6 over 12. And now we've got them all with the same denominator there, we can put them in order. So we can see that this one is the smallest. So we've got 3 over 12. Then we've got 4 over 12. Then we've got 6 over 12. So I'm just looking at the top number and going in order of that. So I've got 6 over 12. Then I've got 7 over 12. And then I've got the 9 over 12. So that's in order. But to actually answer it, I've got to go back to the original fractions that I've got here. So we can see the 3 over 12 was actually just the quarter there. I'm going to write 1/4. Then the next one, the 4 over 12, that was the 1/3. That's there, 1/3. The next one is the 6 over 12, and that's the half. The next one is the 7 over 12, and that was just 7 over 12. We didn't actually change that one. And then the next one, the 9 over 12, was the 3/4. So we're going to write 3/4, and we've done it. So these are now in order going from the smallest to the biggest. Question 9 is about distance, speed and time. So it's very useful for these to remember our triangle for this. This is one of the things that you really want to try and remember for GCSE. So we've got distance at the top, and then at the bottom we've got speed times time. And so if we wanted any of these things, for example, if we want distance, then we cover up the D, and what we're left with at the bottom, I was covering up the D there, then I get speed times time at the bottom. Speed times time. And if I wanted any of the others, so if I want speed, for example, I'd cover up the S there on the triangle. That gives me my speed. And what I'd be left with would be distance, and then it's over, so it's like a fraction. So that's what this straight line is here, is distance over time. And the fraction is the same as saying divided by. So speed is given by distance divided by time. And also time is given by distance divided by speed. If I was to cover up the T, I'll be left with a D and the S. So I've got distance over speed. So useful to remember these. Anyway, so we're looking at this problem. So we've got Ruth left her home at 9 a.m. and got to the library at 10:30 a.m. and she's walked at a speed of 4 miles per hour. So we've got to work out the distance that Ruth has actually walked. So first of all, let's work out the time that she was walking for. So she set off at 9 and got there at 10:30 a.m. That means that she's been walking for 1 hour and 30 minutes. So 1 hour 30. Put it like that, 1 hour 30 minutes. Which is the same, if we know that there's 30 minutes in an hour, then that's the same as 1.5 hours. That's the time she's been walking for. And we want to know the distance that she's gone. So we can use this formula here, that distance is given by speed times time. So in other words, all I'm needing to do for the distance is to say that the distance is equal to the time, which is 1.5, times by the speed, which is 4. So if we do that in 2 stages, 1 times 4 is going to be 4, and half of 4 is 2. So 1.5 times 4 is going to be 4 plus 2, which is 6 miles. So let's write that in there. In part B, this is just totally about time. And so we told she got to the library at 10:30, stayed at the library for 50 minutes, and then walked home. And we've got to work out what time she got home. So I'm going to do this as a timeline. I think is the easiest way to try and understand it. So if we've got 10:30 is what time she arrived at the library, and I'm going to break this 50 minutes down into 2 bits. So we could say, well, for 30 minutes would take us to 11 a.m. But obviously 50 is the 30 plus 20. So that means it's going to be 11:20 when she leaves the library. So at this point, she starts to walk home. And it's 1.25 hours to walk home. So we need to understand what we're going to do with the quarter there. Well, a quarter of an hour, again, remembering that there's 60 minutes in an hour, we're going to times 60 by a quarter, which just means dividing by 4. So if I do that, that's going to equal 60 divided by 4, which is 15. So that tells me that there's 15 minutes is what quarter of an hour is. So we can say 1.25 hours means starting at 11:20, we're going to go first of all for 1 hour. And so that's going to make it go from 11:20 to 12:20. And then we're going to do another 15 minutes on top of that. So another 15 minutes is going to take us, this is the minutes part of it. So we're just going to add 15 onto that. So we're going to get 12:35. So that's what time Ruth arrives home. So Ruth arrives home 12:35. So I hope that's been helpful to you. As I say, if you like the video, please click the like button and also subscribe to our channel to see more of our videos. Thanks for watching.